If you've been following our channel for a while, you know that we keep it real about RV maintenance, travel logistics, and what it takes to survive on the road. But there's a piece of our story that we haven't told you yet, and it started with a conversation that Rose had last week.
Yeah, I was talking to a few stationary folks, people in their homes, when I mentioned that we haven't taken a real vacation in nearly 4 years. They started laughing. They looked at us like we were out of our minds and said, "You're always on vacation. You live in a camper."
And that right there is the ultimate lie of the full-time RV lifestyle. People see the glossy social media pictures and campfires and sunsets, and they think we chose this because we wanted to roam forever. But here's the honest truth. Our full-time journey was only supposed to last about 3-4 months.
So back in 2021, we packed up and left Colorado. Our plan was simple. Head to North Carolina, live in the camper for a few months while we found our permanent home.
But here we are, 5 years later, still living out of the 36-foot Grand Design Reflection. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on why we're still on the road, the reality of running 2 full-time careers out of a box on wheels, and the massive mental trap trying to find the perfect home when the entire country is an open possibility. When we hit the road in 2021, we fully expected to tour a few towns, pick a neighborhood, sign the papers, and move into a new house before winter. But we traveled all over, looked at dozens of areas, and nothing screamed home to us.
Steve and I share a deep faith. We truly believe God will speak to us and guide us to the exact right spot when the timing's right. But so far, we just haven't heard that message yet. And because we refuse to settle for a place that doesn't feel right, we just stay in motion.
So it's not that we're completely anti-house. It's just simply that we haven't found the right spot to call home yet. And narrowing it down is a massive balancing act because our visions of our next chapter, they look a little bit different from what each other's imagining.
For me, I want an active, friendly community. I take a lot of walks, and I need a neighborhood with walkable spaces where I can do my walk, see neighbors, not feel isolated out in the middle of nowhere, or worry about a bear attacking me. I want a standard, comfortable 3-bedroom house with good internet and a cell phone signal.
And on my end, I want enough property to build a custom barn dominium. I spent over 25 years in the auto body trade, so having a functional shop space is non-negotiable for me. But here's the catch. I don't want a ton of landscape maintenance to keep up with either. I don't want to spend my weekends on a tractor mowing 5 acres of grass. I want it natural.
And Steve doesn't even want a 3-bedroom layout.
Hear me out though. My idea is a hybrid 2-bedroom build, but with a massive integrated RV bay where we can pull our 5th wheel camper in, and that way the camper itself serves as a 3rd bedroom and living space. When the kids come down to visit, they've got their own spot.
In today's real estate market, balancing acreage, a low maintenance barn dominium, a walkable community, and a tight budget takes an immense amount of patience. But to be completely honest, our urgency timelines are a little different. Because Steve found this incredible new passion for building a YouTube channel and helping other RVers with his trade background, he isn't quite as desperate for a house as I am.
Hey, when your house doubles as a mobile production studio and a workshop on wheels, it's hard to rush out of it. But it does create a funny dynamic. Rose is definitely the driving force keeping us actively hunting for permanent dirt, while I'm pretty content managing the rig and planning the next video.
But there's another challenge we never expected. When you live in a stationary house, you search for your next home within a 30-50 mile radius. But when you live in an RV and you don't have a job in a certain location, the entire country is wide open.
And you think having the whole United States as an option, it'd make things easier. It doesn't. It actually makes it a lot harder. When every state is a possibility, choosing just one spot can make it completely overwhelming. You find yourself constantly weighing tax laws, weather, land availability, and community vibes across thousands of miles.
It really is a balancing act. We refuse to settle for a place that doesn't feel right, but I'm definitely keeping my eyes on the horizon for that neighborhood feel. So while we wait for those paths to cross, we just stay in motion.
So while we wait for that right door to open, life goes on. And that brings us back to the always on vacation myth. The reason it's not a vacation is because our full-time jobs, they don't care that our house has wheels.
Exactly. I work a demanding full-time corporate job, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5. I'm completely locked into my screen, handling meetings and professional responsibilities. The view changes, but my workload doesn't. Like I told those people the other day, we just work in different places.
And running Ramblin Reflections is my full-time job. But it didn't start out that way. When we first hit the road, I didn't know the first thing about cameras, lighting, or editing software.
But Steve has over 25 years of experience in the automotive repair trade, and he's incredibly handy. Every single time something needed fixing on a rig, I encouraged him to grab the camera, hit record, and share it. I knew his real-world knowledge could save everyday RVers thousands of dollars in repair bills.
And with Rose's constant encouragement, I dove headfirst into learning the craft. It became a whole new passion. Now between scripting, filming, DIY fixes, and editing, I put in a solid 40, 50 hours a week. But being able to take my trade background and use it to help thousands of you out there navigate this lifestyle, that makes the late nights worth it.
But doing both of these full-time careers simultaneously inside a 36-foot box takes serious coordination. If I'm on a critical corporate call, Steve has to tread lightly. We have to coordinate and synchronize our daily routines completely.
So she doesn't nag at me.
So you don't walk by naked in my team's meetings.
Because our work schedules keep us completely grounded Monday through Thursday, our travel patterns look nothing like the average retiree. We can't just wake up on a Tuesday morning and decide to move.
No, in fact, we can only travel on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah, and when you compress your hauls into a strict 3-day window, moving to faraway locations becomes an incredibly time-consuming puzzle.
Yeah, you guys know our strict rule. I cap hauls at around 200, 250 miles a day or under 4 hours of driving a day.
It keeps us safe, protects our equipment, and saves our sanity.
Because as we shared before, rushing or pushing your equipment past its limits is one of those critical budget-killing errors that can take a rig out permanently. Or his brain. If you missed our video on the exact mistakes that completely destroy your investment, you definitely need to pause and check that out.
Pushing too hard leads to costly mistakes, but out here, there is absolutely zero room for error.
Basically, every Sunday night, we have to be fully parked, leveled, completely set up. Our internet connection has to be rock solid by Monday morning so I can log on to the corporate network without a hiccup. We can't just wing it or stay off grid when there's no service.
So that is the real reflection of where we're at. We aren't on a permanent vacation and we aren't running away from stationary life forever. We're simply two full-time working people using our RV as a tool to bridge the gap until we can find the exact right plot of land to build our future on.
But you know, even though we're completely tied to our full-time jobs during the week, and the travel window definitely can be a bit of a logistical puzzle, there's one advantage to this lifestyle that makes everything worth it.
Absolutely. Being out here on the road has allowed us to truly reconnect with our family and friends in ways that weren't possible when we were anchored down to one spot in Colorado.
We've been able to visit and reconnect with people we love. We get to have dinner, spend weekends together, catch up face to face, and be present for moments we used to miss out on.
And that right there is why the freedom to move around is completely priceless to us. The scenery changes, the floor plan debates continue, and the budget, it stays tight. But the time we've gained back with the people who matter most is something that we wouldn't trade for anything.
It takes patience, it takes serious planning, and it takes trusting the things that'll fall into place when they're supposed to. But in the meantime, we're going to keep moving, keep connecting, and keep sharing the real, unedited truth of this journey with all of you, as painful as it is sometimes.
I know. So Ramblers, would love to hear your thoughts. If you're on the road, has mobility helped you to get closer to family? Drop a comment below right now and let's talk.
But before we let you go today, we mentioned earlier that balancing two full-time jobs from a camper takes serious coordination. But what happens when the gear keeping your life running completely fails you on the side of the highway?
Yeah, it's one thing to plan your weekend move down to the exact mile. It's a completely different story when a total component failure catches you completely off guard. We lived through an absolute worst-case roadside disaster that nearly cost us our entire rig. And we caught that raw, unedited reality of it right here on camera.
Click right here to watch exactly what happened when the ultimate nightmare became our reality and learn how to prevent it from happening to you.
Yeah, so stay safe out there, keep your rigs road ready, and go click that video right now, and we'll see you over there.